So the Xbox Summer Sale, guys, is insane, and it has some of the best prices on games I have ever seen. These sales will last until I think the end of July, but with that, I'm Sunny here at Xbox Central, and we start this with Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Now, this is an awesome action-adventure game inspired by the Avatar movies. In this game, you play as a Na'vi tasked to protect your land from human invaders. The game looks awesome, and to be honest, I haven't played it yet, but I've had my eyes on it, and so it's why I wanted to put it on this list. This seems like a great time to grab this game. Our next game is Cyberpunk 2077. This has been doing insanely great lately, with a lot more players getting into the game thanks to the awesome updates and the DLC content. If you haven't already bought this game, it's a great opportunity to get into the Ultimate Edition. It lets you have the base game with the Phantom Liberty DLC for just 53 bucks, and that's something I'm going to be doing because I completely finished Cyberpunk 2077 when it first launched, but now I'm going to get into Phantom Liberty, the DLC, so you should as well. If you guys are enjoying this, guys, give me a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm find new Xbox gamers out there, and let's spread the word on how awesome Xbox is, and subscribe if you can. And alright, so our next game is Witcher 3. It's always been one of my favorite games, and it's exceptional in pretty much every aspect. It's got an awesome storyline, authentically realistic game world, brilliant characters, tons of mini games and side activities, and some of the best combat that I've seen in an RPG. It's a definite must-have, especially now. So we have the game Ghost Recon Breakpoint. This is an epic entry to this tactical shooter series. It lets you play as one of these special ops soldiers that's stranded on a mysterious island. Your task is to fight former ghost turned rogue using a wide range of stealth and action tactics, and of course you'll be completing missions in a hostile open world. It's got a massive 80% discount. You can grab this one for just 20 bucks. So I'm glad the Outlast Trials is here and it's on sale. It's a super creepy survival horror game that's been giving players nightmares for a while. It's a multiplayer game where you and your friends play as test subjects in a creepy, twisted experiment. You'll need to rely on stealth, smarts, and teamwork to survive a brutal test. Whenever we think about superhero games, Batman Arkham always comes to mind. The series has given us some of the greatest hits in the genre, including my favorite Arkham Knight. Luckily, that collection includes that game plus a ton of skins, season passes, character packs, DLC content, and a whole lot more just for $9, guys. So go ahead, pick up the Batman Arkham collection. This is a great price and one that I couldn't recommend more. Another awesome collection that's worth checking out is the BioShock collection. This bundle lets you grab BioShock Remastered, BioShock 2 Remastered, and BioShock Infinite, and this is all for just $10. If you want to relive these classics with a modern coat of paint, this collection is going to be for you. So Elden Ring has proven to be one of the best role-playing games out there right now. The game's got all the great features from other Souls-like, but just with the right amount of challenge, compelling lore, and dark fantasy world, and plenty of freedom for exploration. If you guys are an RPG fan, this is a must-play, especially at this sale. It never gets really any cheaper than this, so this is one I couldn't recommend more at this price point. This game needs absolutely no introduction at all. Fallout 4 is an RPG gem from the fan favorite Fallout series that lets you explore a vast post-apocalyptic world with a deep story, tons of activities and choices and customization, and a lot more. You can build stuff, you can meet people, and of course you'll be battling against mutated creatures. This is the game that this year I've actually played the most out of any other game except for MLB The Show, and just Fallout 4 is just an amazing series. It's an amazing franchise. It's my very favorite, and I just couldn't recommend this more at the low price of just like 16 bucks. Sekiro is an intense action adventure game where you play as a skilled ninja seeking revenge. The game takes place in a beautifully brutal version of ancient Japan, where you'll face off against super tough enemies and challenging bosses. The game's been loved by millions for its best-in-class Souls-like combat that is challenging but also equally rewarding as well. I've gotten to play Sekiro Shadows Die twice. I never got to beat it, but now might be my time to get back in there and beat it, but it's a game that I just couldn't recommend more. Of course, I can't have a awesome sales list without the Halo Master Chief Collection. It brings the entire mainland Halo series together, allowing you to relive the epic campaigns from the past or enjoy the epic battles in multiplayer from the original Halo to Halo 4. This collection offers enhanced graphics and gameplay mechanics to let you have fun either alone or with friends. Now, there's a pretty good chance you've maybe already played Red Dead Redemption 2, but if you haven't, this might be that perfect opportunity. The game's only 20 bucks, and that is going to be the best 20 bucks you'll spend on this entire video. This is probably the #1 game at this discount. You are going to get so many hours of fun with this one. Get in there, be a cowboy, relive those times. It is an amazing game, and it's one of my favorites on this list. So if you're really into superhero games, we also have Suicide Squad on sale. In this game, you control members of the Suicide Squad on a mission to stop the Justice League who have turned rogue. It's got a mix of humor, chaos, and action action-packed combat. The game's just wild, man, and a great one to play on sale. Rainbow Six Siege is going to be obviously one of the best tactical shooters that's ever been made and that I've ever played myself. The game heavily relies on teamwork, letting you choose from a roster of unique operatives, each with their own skills and abilities to really help you take down enemies with style. It comes at a really dirt cheap, and I just couldn't recommend it more at this price. We have the latest Harry Potter game, Hogwarts Legacy. It's on sale for both the Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One. This open world action RPG title has gotten tons of highly positive reviews for its engaging story, addicting exploration, challenging boss fights, and of course the magic. I've gotten to play this. I don't even like Harry Potter, and I really enjoyed this game. So if that doesn't give you a lot of praise for a game like this, or if you don't see the praise out of this, it's a really awesome game, guys, and you want to dive into this one. We have the awesome Far Cry bundle, which includes 3 Far Cry games, 3, 4, and 5, each with its own unique settings and stories, from the tropical islands of Far Cry 3 to the Himalayan mountains in Far Cry 4, and then the rural US in Far Cry 5. I don't know which one you might like the most, but I think Far Cry 3 remains my favorite because of the badass villain boss, but either way, you really can't go wrong. I actually haven't played Far Cry 5 yet, so I'm gonna have to dive into that one now and pick this bundle up. But either way, this is a great bundle, and you're just gonna get tons of hours of fun here. Skywalker Saga is an awesome Star Wars game that covers all the 9 films in a fun, humorous, and equally challenging Lego format. You get to play through epic battles, you'll solve puzzles, and explore the Star Wars universe with your favorite characters. This deluxe edition adds even more characters to make your adventure more fun and memorable. And honestly, guys, this is my favorite Lego game, and it's a Star Wars, so I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I just could not recommend this more. And sticking with another Star Wars game, we have Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and this is a great addition to Star Wars games that, much like Fallen Order, offers impressive combat, stunning visuals, and a pretty vast world filled with iconic locations that you can explore for hours. I think it comes at a great discount. It's not an old game by any means, so this is a good one to pick up here on the Xbox store. Assassin's Creed fans are also in luck if you want to get your hands on not 1 but 3 fan favorite games. We have Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. It comes in at just $32. If you're looking for a horror game, I recommend go with the Resident Evil 4 remake if you haven't already. Now, it's not a simple remake, but a full-on horror experience that reimagines that classic survival horror game, but with modern graphics and gameplay, and even adds more depth to the story. It's a brilliant mix of survival, action, and puzzle solving, and it's out to grab right now for a pretty dirt cheap price. So a game that I think is really underrated is Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, where you play as Star-Lord, leading your team of misfit heroes on a wild adventure to save the universe. The game offers action-packed combat, hilarious banters, and an original story that I think is really worth diving into, and this one truly is pretty cheap. If you haven't had a chance to play the Mafia games, but you've always wanted to check out these games that have been loved over the years, this might be a great time to get into it. Mafia Trilogy lets you have the definitive editions of all 3 Mafia games with enhanced visuals and gameplay, which really makes the life of a gangster that much more thrilling. So this is a great option for players who love both superheroes and maybe strategy games. Marvel's Midnight Suns is a pretty unique game that lets you play as a team of heroes fighting against evil villains in tactical battles. The Legendary Edition also gives you access to 23 premium skins and 4 DLC packs for just $25. So we have the Saints Row 2022 reboot. This takes you back to the crazy streets of Santo Leso, where you try to build your criminal empire from scratch. The game's been loved for its over-the-top action, the wild missions, and just a ton of edgy humor. I've gotten to play this one, I've enjoyed it, and I think it comes at a good price. Mad Max is another great open-world adventure that throws you into a harsh desert wasteland and expects you to survive and fight against brutal gangs. You get to customize your vehicle, engage in some tough fights, and explore a desolate world inspired by the iconic movies. Now, if you're looking for an amazing co-op game, we have the game A Way Out on sale. In this game, you and your friend play as 2 inmates trying to break out of prison and invade the law. The game's all about teamwork and coordination, with a brilliant story and an engaging split-screen gameplay that I've really gotten to enjoy, and it's only really for only $6. It's super cheap and a great co-op game if you're looking for something like that. Now, Control is a pretty unique game that lets you play as a young woman with supernatural powers, fighting a dark force that has plagued her former bureau, and you've got to solve puzzles and uncover secrets and fight otherworldly enemies with those superpowers. And you kind of are a badass, which is why I really like this game, and I love the sale price it comes at. It's one worth diving into if you haven't already. So the Dead Space remake is a jaw-dropping survival horror game set on a space mining ship overrun overrun by terrifying alien creatures. You play as an engineer, Isaac Clarke, trying to survive while exploring the dark corridors of the ship, solving puzzles, and of course fighting to stay alive. I think this comes at a great price, and this is a game that's been well reviewed and well loved by many players, including myself. So Deathloop has become quite a hit for its intriguing FPS gameplay. You are trapped in this time loop, reliving the same day repeatedly and trying to break this loop, and you have to take out these key targets using stealth strategy and an arsenal of deadly weapons. I love the price that this game comes in because you'll get a lot of hours for what I'd say is one of the most unique FPS games that's ever been made. Now, if you're looking for something less arcadey racing experience, you can get the game Dirt Rally 2.0. I think this is an amazing yet challenging rally game. You get to race around some of the toughest off-road tracks with different terrains, dynamic weather, and a whole lot of awesome vehicles.